He says we're friends. We started off as friends, but now we're kind of flirting and it's just so confusing.
Be with someone that's good for your nervous system.
Yeah, anything that feels like this,
They're never going to give you what you need.
clear is kind. If he's not being clear with you and you're confused about where you're at, he's not the one for you. Something my friend always says is, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no.
Love that.
And I laugh at that. I'm like, yeah, but it's true.
I'm not saying that they have to have arrived, because that's a fantasy. But also, if there is a pattern of abuse or neglect or whatever it might be, you need to be hyper aware of the dangerous patterns that will not be broken no matter how many times you bring it up to them.
Hey, you guys. Welcome to the Hey Girl, Hey podcast. I'm your host, Kay.
And I'm Lori.
Yeah. Well, first, Lori, what's your enchantment for this week?
I went camping.
Fun.
With my family, and we took Rue, and it was the first time that Brandon and I have been camping together.
Wait, no way. Was it
Yeah.
like glamping or true camping?
Oh, it was true camping.
So tents and all?
Tents, hammocks, cooking food over the campfire.
Oh, that's fun. Is
I
that where
loved
you
it.
got your bruise?
Yes. I'm like, should I lift my skirt a little bit and show
No,
this big old
it's
bruise?
so scandalous. We might get demonetized.
All right, we'll
Goodness.
just keep that covered up then.
Anyway, yeah, Lori was trying to be a Disney princess and pick berries, and she took a tumble.
Yep, we went and picked a bunch of wild raspberries, and they were so good. But
That's so fun.
Yeah, they definitely come at a cost.
That is hilarious. I'm trying to think. My enchantment. I always forget my enchantment. We just got back from Hawaii, me and Kai. We were there for our friend's first wedding anniversary celebration.
Mm-hmm.
So originally our friends were supposed to get married in Hawaii a year ago. And then they had their down payment on this venue. First of all, y'all, the venues in Hawaii, gorgeous.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning. There was these like, I don't even know. We were in the farm countryside of Hawaii, but they had these beautiful lush trees and plants and chickens and rabbits. It was beautiful.
That's what Brandon brings up. He always says that the chickens in Hawaii are like the thing
So
that he
cute.
remembers the most.
Yeah, and Moana, her little sidekick is a chicken. And to me, watching the movie, I was like, that's kind of random. Like, I think it's a chicken and a pig.
Yeah.
And I'm
But
like,
if
what?
you know, you know.
Yes.
If you've been there, then
That
you
is
get it.
so Hawaiian, which is so cool. Anyway, we also got to go crab hunting at night.
What?
It
Did you
was
catch
so
anything?
sick. I personally didn't. My job was bucket holding. So, okay, if you ever want to go crab hunting, we had a shovel, like a plastic shovel, like building sandcastles with, like that kind of stuff, shovel, and then a net, and then you need a light, and and then we had our buckets. So the technique is to blind the crab, smash the crab, and then take the net and, take the crab and then put it in the bucket. And we caught 3.
Jeez, brutal.
And then we boiled the crab and we ate them.
How many did he catch?
3. So I was proud of my man.
So
I was
how
like,
big are the crabs?
they're like this big and they're black.
They're black?
Yeah, they're black crabs.
What? I've never seen such a thing.
Yeah, but I guess when you put them in the boiling water, they turn red. I had
Okay.
no idea. Anyway, so that was fun. Very random.
So was it everything that everyone says Hawaii is?
Oh, yeah. I see why people want to live there. Dude, I was so sad to come back. I think that was the first vacation where I was like, man, I really don't want to go home. It was so enchanting.
I need to go.
Girl, I know. Next time we go, you need to come with us.
Heck yeah, I'm down.
No, literally. Maybe I'll do that for like my 30th or maybe for my wedding. We'll see.
Okay, let's go.
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was awesome. And speaking of awesome, you know what's awesome, Lori?
What?
Dating advice for the girlies. Let's go.
Everyone needs this. All right, listen up, you guys.
I know. Lean in, y'all. No, I'm kidding. But it's just so fun. I don't know. Reflecting on I'm still in that season of dating, but it's cool to reflect now. I'm 20. I almost said I'm 28. I'm 27. I feel like I'm 28. Do you do that?
You're in your 28th year, so
yeah.
it's accurate.
Oh, yeah. I'm in my 28th year. So now, oh my gosh, I've been dating since I was 16. 12 years. Wait, did I do my math right? Yeah, 12 years of dating experience history. And especially going from like dating just to date to now dating with a purpose. I feel like, I don't know, you and I can pass on some wisdom, if you will.
Oh, for sure. So
from
what
our
we're going
time.
to share is gospel is what we're saying.
Amen. Take notes. I'm kidding. Oh, man. All right, Lori Love, you want to go first?
Sure. Okay, so if a man doesn't want to define the relationship just yet, he's not that into you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to burst anyone's bubble or like burst their hope. So,
yeah,
you know what I mean? But I see that over and over and over again to the point where I see that it is a pattern. That whenever they say that, like, oh, let's not rush into things. We don't need to define anything yet. However it is that they want to pass it off. Like, I don't want to make a mistake. I want to really think out my decisions. Like, however it is that they want to just say, I don't want to define this right now.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, like, and inevitably, it is always, always, always that they're just not that into them. And then they are just like, they'll leave whenever the next best option comes up.
Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely think men know what they want very early on.
Yeah.
And it really doesn't take that long for them to kind of figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think there is a period of, hey, you know, is this something I want to pursue?
Yeah.
And it only takes about a couple of dates. Like, I feel like even by date 2 or 3, you should kind of know if you want to proceed or,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I hear this saying a lot, but like, if he wanted to, he would. I'm a firm believer in that. Like,
for
it's
sure.
so true. And then also, something my friend always says is, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no.
Love that.
And I laugh at that. I'm like, yeah. But it's true.
It's true.
So true. Like, if they're not all about it, you know, after, again, some time spending together, getting to know you, and they're still hesitant, it's been like months, weeks and months. Girl, you deserve way better than that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Because men want to lock it down.
Yeah.
Like, they're hunters. Like, they want to, they want to take home the prey.
I'm like, wow. But it's true. Like, and plus, like, as women, we are the prize, and men are prizes too. Like, there's some amazing men out there. We're dating incredible men. Like, I feel like I'm definitely dating a prize. I'm like, wow, like, he has great character. He's kind. He's attractive. Like, you know what I mean?
For sure.
So if he's not seeing your value and wants to, quote unquote, lock you down, then yeah, he's not worth it.
I'm glad you agree.
No, that was good. Okay. I'll start with like kind of, well, actually I'll go with this. If they want to spend alone time with you, that means that they're probably into you.
I agree.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I feel like this is such a kind of a hot take too, because I hear a lot of my friends are like, no, we're just friends, or, you know, like, oh, I'm one with the boys, blah, blah, blah. But if he really likes spending time with you, and you know in your heart that you do not like him, but he likes spending time with you.
Like, he initiates alone time.
Yeah, then I feel like he does like you.
I agree.
And I put a subnote, clear is kind, meaning if he is not willing to define the relationship, kind of piggybacking off what you're saying, but if he's not clear with his intentions, then he's not
kind.
Yeah. Oh, amen. He's not kind. Yeah. But
or he's sending mixed signals.
Yeah. I hear that a lot. And even I went through that too. It's like, you know, God is not a God of confusion. And I feel like a man of, whether you're pursuing in like a Christian relationship or anything like that, but you know, okay, if God's not a God of confusion and this man is confusing me, then that's probably not the guy for you.
Yeah, not for you, girl.
Yeah, God wouldn't send somebody in your life to confuse you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And hey, he might mean well, and he's probably figuring his own stuff out. You know, I've definitely have been in that boat too. But
yeah,
if it's not providing clarity and it's not like how we always say light is right, if it's just causing you chaos in your life, then I would just let that go. Because peace, girl.
For sure.
Yeah, kind of testing the fruit of that connection or relationship. It's like if it's always like this, or I would chase the peace over chaos.
Yeah, I agree. So what would you, like, if you see a friend that's in that situation where there's just not the clarity, what do you advise?
Well, I mean, I'll speak from my own experience. I remember early on, I didn't bring this part up. Our story is so long, like how we got together, but a little sub story within that whole story. And if you haven't watched that episode, it's up now. But I I was in church actually. And this is when Kai and I were kind of flirtatious, but we still were friends. And I knew we were friends, but I can kind of feel us tiptoeing into the romantic part of it. Anyway, so I'm at church, our young adult service, and the pastor, he's about to go into his message, and he goes, hey, I feel like the Holy Spirit's telling me to say this. And he's like, my message isn't about dating, but I feel like I'm supposed to give this dating advice. And you know me, I'm perking up, I'm leaning up, and I'm ready to take notes. I'm like, what is he about to say? And he goes, clear is kind. He's like, if he's not being clear with you and you're confused about where you're at, he's not the one for you. And I literally was, I was stunned. I'm like, wow, it's exactly what I'm going through right now. Like, I don't know where Kai and I are at. And I was kind of getting antsy and restless. And I'm like, gosh, it's so confusing. Like, he says we're friends. We started off as friends, but now we're kind of flirting, and it's just so confusing. So then the next day, I think Kai could kind of sense my antsiness, for lack of a better word. And I remember him calling me, and he's like, hey, I want to talk to you about something. And he's like, I feel like this weird thing between us. Do you feel that way too? And I was like, yeah. I'm like, I do. And he was like, well, is there anything you like want to say first? And I was like, yeah, honestly, I'm just confused. And like, you know, I know we're just friends. I'm like, and that's fine if we're just friends, but I feel XYZ and I just need clarity. Like, can you provide clarity? And that's when he told me that he liked me. And then that's when I said I liked him. So we both kind of got to that place together. But yeah, I think asking for clarity, you should never feel ashamed to asking, you know, hey, define this. Like, are we just friends? If that's so, I even told Kai this. I'm like, hey, if we're just friends, I need to know that so I know how to act. Like, I don't want to be out here pursuing something or investing in something romantically if you're not there. That's wasting both of our time.
For sure.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's always my advice too, is like for the girlfriends that I said that are in that situation, I'm like, immediately, I'm just like, honestly, just either ask for clarity, like just have the conversation, and it's going to feel maybe confrontational to the guy and make him be like, oof, like this is what I've been trying to avoid, but you have to do it for the sake of your own peace of mind, or just get out, because it's not for you. If the guy's just stringing you along just so that there's a warm body, or so that he has someone to fill his day and talk to, like, that's just selfish. So like, I don't think that you're gonna change his mind either. Yeah.
Wait, can I kind of dig into that a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna probably call out us girlies a bit, but do you think that we do that on purpose? Like, we don't really want to know because in our gut we know?
Yeah.
Why do we do that?
I definitely think so.
Because we also want somebody to talk to, and like, you know?
I think that women are just more romantic. Like, they always just think like that maybe the story is a slow burn, or maybe he's just, you know, maybe he's just injured, maybe he's just, fix him. I can fix him. I can, like maybe he's just afraid to love again. You know what I mean? Like, the exception to the rule. But it's like, no, this person, like the vast majority of the guys, they're not going to be the exception. Like, they're just going to be the rule. You know what I mean?
No, I was that. I definitely would.
Oh, we've all been there.
It's like, I don't want to rock the boat. But I don't know. I watched the movie Perks of Being a Wallflower, like, on my way to Hawaii. And one of the lines in the movie is, we accept the love we think we deserve. And yeah, maybe we feel like, we're not going to find anyone good enough, or, you know, and that's, I think, so sad.
It's definitely a scarcity mentality too.
Yeah, it is.
Like, they'll just take what they can get. And that's so dangerous too, because those are the girls and guys that get into relationships with people that are like narcissistic or psychopathic. Like, you know, they're giving them something. Yeah. So I'll take it because I just want to be in a relationship. I really just want to get married. I want to have kids. I want to have that story. But like, if they're exhibiting that level of red flag, and I'm taking it from here to like there, but it's because I just watched a video on like narcissistic partners and psychopathic partners, and like, they're always in relationships, dude. Like, they don't have, it's not like they have a hard time getting into relationships. It's just that they know how to pick partners that are going to stay with them. Wow. So, I mean, and we've all been there. I mean, maybe, I don't know if you've ever dated someone that you can say was narcissistic or abusive or whatever. I think that you're good at filtering. Like,
really? I feel like it takes me a minute, but not
like long term.
No, like a couple, maybe months at max.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll definitely pick up on patterns. I feel like that's another like sub advice is, yes, watch for character, I think chemistry is not a bad thing either. Like you want to have chemistry with the person you are pursuing and like, but also look out for their patterns. Like if they're doing something and you guys talk about it and then they keep doing it, it's like, what? And yes, having grace for sure, but just, is this something that they are slowly working through? Is this something where they, or just.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that because I do want to iterate because I feel like from previous feedback on videos, like we need to drive certain points. I'm not saying that people have to be perfect. I'm not saying that they have to have arrived because that's just a fantasy. Like we all have weaknesses, and that's also a beautiful thing. Just side note, because it keeps us humble, but also like, if there is a pattern of abuse or neglect or whatever it might be, you need to be hyper aware of that and mindful of that. And it is hard to break patterns because we are just weak people sometimes. But that's not what I don't think I'm trying to say. Like, I'm not trying to say like, don't date someone that has weaknesses because we all have them. It's just more of like the dangerous patterns that will not be broken no matter how many times you bring it up to them.
100%. No, that's good. I love that. All right.
Is it my turn?
It's your turn, yeah.
Okay.
We just said like 10 advice things in that one.
Yeah.
I love it.
Wait, is it okay? This one is definitely a hot take.
Girl,
can I give it?
Listen, we're here. We're vibing, right, girls?
Okay. All right. Well, it's also advice. Like, hot takes are kind of advice. Like, and this is an opinion. Like, all of these are opinions. The guy has to be more into the girl than she's into him for it to work out long term.
Wow. You know what's funny? That's something my mom kind of always told me.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if it's true or not.
I think it's true.
I don't really know how I feel about that.
Well, let's talk about it. Let's give examples. Okay, so for me, with my exes, for one of my exes, I was definitely more into him and like more invested in the relationship, wanting to make him happy and this and that. And I could feel that, like, yes, maybe he cared about me. Maybe he even loved me to some degree. But like, he didn't have this like drive, like this perpetual like force to me. You know what I mean? Like he never just had that, like, he was never that into me, essentially. Like, I was more into him than he was into me. However, with Brandon, I am obsessed with him, but I know Brandon is more obsessed with me than I am with him. And he knows it too. Like, he always says it.
Okay, can I be honest?
Yeah.
You both are equally obsessed with each other. You guys are so just like enthralled by each other. And I'm going through...
it's like this much more that he is with me than I am with him.
Really?
It's like literally like that much more. Like, I'm not saying be with someone that you're into them this much and they're into you this much. Like, because that also wouldn't work. Like, and that also wouldn't be a fun relationship. And everyone deserves to be with someone that is crazy about them. So
of course,
again, like, we need to like iterate the points because I don't want things to be misconstrued.
Lori, everyone's gonna. It is what it is.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, to clarify, like, I am so obsessed with Brandon, but I know that he is more of like what's she doing? Where is she? Like, what can I do for you? Like, more like attentive. Like, if he feels like a switch in the energy. And again, I do this too, or I pick up on it, but he is so hypersensitive to it that he's like, what is it? What can I do for you? Okay. And I think that that's what makes the relationship work, because I think men need to feel more of like men are more independent. Like, I feel like biologically and like by God's design, it's supposed to be that way, because guys can just leave a woman and like, hop ship. But women need the guy to be obsessed with them, especially whenever they start like having children or like if they are stay-at-home wife or mom. That's what keeps the guy there.
Yeah. I kind of pick up what you're saying.
We don't need to agree.
Oh, no. Yeah. It's fine. Wait, I do want to like kind of dig in.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you said in your past that you were with a guy who you felt like wasn't that into you. Is Brandon more into you than you are into him? Or are you both equally into each other and you just have never been with a guy that is as attentive as you are? You know, is he just as attentive as you are? So it's not a matter of like more, it's just a matter of equals.
The thing is that it because it's so hard to quantify like how into
levels.
You know what I mean? Like there's no like test that you can hook yourself up to and be like, oh, you're 99% into this person and you're 200%.
That's true.
You know what I mean? But I guess this is why I say that is because there are times where Brandon does kind of annoy me with his attentiveness where I'm like, can you please just like go hang out with friends, or why don't you go to your parents' house, or why don't you go do your hobby or whatever. And because he's like, he wants to be next to me constantly, and I am that way with him too. Again, I'm saying like the difference is literally like incremental, but I do have those times where I'm like, whoa, like you don't need to be literally glued to me. You don't need to be sewn to my hip.
Sweet.
But he never feels that way.
Really?
He never feels that way. And he always brings that up where he's like, I'm sorry, I know I need to give you space, but I just never feel a need for space from you. He always says that. It's not like a one-time thing. He said it.
Interesting.
So that's how I kind of quantify that.
Yeah. Well, I think needing space in your relationship, like that sense of independence, isn't a bad thing either.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just feel like maybe people need different levels of it.
True.
Like me, I'm finding out that I need more than what I thought because I always like being around people and I'm just like a huge extrovert. But lately, oh my gosh, if I don't have my alone time, I feel my tank is just depleted. So maybe that's just also like a personality thing.
And it could be too.
Yeah,
like I'm sure there are so many variables, but also like Brandon did say that it's not that he's just that way or he like always wants to be with his person, because he said in all his other relationships he was the one that was like, okay, like I don't want to see you today. Too. Really?
Kai said that too.
Do you see what I mean? We're both with guys that are more into us than we are with them.
Literally, he's like, babe, like, you know, in my past, like I would just like if they spent 3 days together, he would need like a week.
Yeah,
that is
off. Literally what Brandon said.
Like,
I wish they were both here for this conversation.
We miss our men. Sorry, girl.
We'll bring them. Like I'm not just trying to
bring back the men.
Yes. I'm not just trying to like paint a better picture of what it actually is. Like truly, Brandon always iterates that this is the only relationship that he's ever had where he hasn't wanted or like craved space from his person. And that's why he put a ring on it. Like,
amen.
If you're just talking about like Christian dating, like getting married at 27, how Brandon did, that's kind of old. You know what I mean?
Girl.
Like, I know, but it's just like a subculture thing.
Me on this couch. No, it's true. I know what you're saying. Yeah. The church, you tend to marry young and
but like
very quick.
That was the thing with him, is his community was like, why aren't you married yet? Like, why haven't you been in a truly long-term relationship? Like, I think the longest his relationships ever went was like 9 months, because again, I feel like if you're a healthy guy and you're not like, you know, you're not suffering with insecure attachment type, you're not like, I just need someone always there. Like if you're healthy and then you realize once the guy realizes like, this just ain't it, then they'll cut it off. And that's what Brandon always did.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, because I don't know, like,
girl, you were his good thing.
He's obsessed with me. I don't know why, but
I know why. I'm obsessed with you too.
I'm obsessed with you.
So you're my bestie.
See, I don't need space from you, but I need space.
That is hilarious. Yeah. Oh man.
But I would love to know what everyone thinks. Yeah. Because I mean, I think I'm really good about bringing polarizing advice or polarizing.
You are.
Yeah,
really good at that.
And I'm okay with that. Like, let's just have a conversation. No one get mad. Like, let's just have a conversation.
No, we want people to get mad.
Yes, get mad.
Maybe we'll have a poll. Like, do you think the guy needs to be more obsessed with you in order for the relationship to work? I don't know how to phrase that, but
okay. And not that you need to get the ick from him. I don't get the ick from Brandon. You just, you know what I mean? Like,
Ew, I hate getting the ick.
Yeah, why would you be with someone that you have the ick? I also asked Brandon if he's ever got the ick from me in any kind of way.
I think I asked him that too.
Really?
I said, is there anything I do that gives you the ick?
What did he say? Did he say he had something?
I don't think so. I don't think he said anything, but I kind of know. I know things he doesn't like, and I do that, but not to like spite him. There's like one specific
not like
thing.
annoying things about you or like red flags, beige flags.
No,
like,
it's not.
Like,
it's not a flag at all. It's just like
a tick or like something that you
something
do.
like that. Where I can name. There's only one thing. He probably knows what it is, but there's one thing he does that it doesn't give me the ick. It's just like, really, I can't expose my man like that. He probably won't care. Maybe the next time he's here, I can say what it is.
Maybe we'll do an episode where we both talk about like the flaws in each other, but like not in a toxic way, just in a like light
beige
way.
flags or aches and stuff. That'd be fun.
Okay.
Yeah. Also send us some episode ideas if you guys have some. That'll be fun. We can have our guys on or just our girly episodes. That would be fun.
No, for sure.
Alrighty. Is it your turn?
No, I just gave the.
Oh, okay. I want to go into this. I'm kind of nervous.
What is it?
Okay, wait,
I need to know.
Okay, this is something, not that I'm nervous to talk about, but something that I'm also learning in. And I feel like I, at times, did a poor job with.
Okay.
But this is more like single girl advice, and also dating advice, but just having strong boundaries with guy friends. And I feel like, especially, I don't know, growing up in my early 20s, I had like this big friend group, and it was so much fun. And there's nothing wrong with being friends with guys. I think that's an amazing thing. And we've talked about this before in our like, can guys and girls be friends?
Yeah.
And you and I definitely are aligned in our opinion of this.
Just don't.
I'm screaming, but I
just
think,
crush that expectation now.
Okay, I think having strong boundaries with your guy friends is so important, and I'm learning that even more and more as I get older. But I think in the past, when I was just on my own, being single, whatever, having guy friends, you know, we would have like long talks about dating or about like confiding in each other, like having that emotional intimacy that I think now looking back should only be reserved for your girlfriends. Because once that boundary is, I think, once the certain boundaries are crossed, or even physical boundaries, like, you might not be making out with your guy friend, but like cuddling or even holding hands, like that's stuff.
Weird. I don't know. I've never done that.
I've
know
been
that
in
there are
friend
people
groups.
that do.
There's
but
girls that are like, oh, I'm with the guys, or like, oh yeah, we cuddled, and it's like, honestly, y'all, what are we doing? Like, that's not something friends should be doing. And I feel like a part of me is when I heard my friends kind of talk about that, or like roommates talk about that stuff, where they're like, oh yeah, we're just friends, but we cuddle while watching The Bachelor. It's like,
someone likes someone.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody always likes someone, and even if it's not on your end, honestly, if you turned around and said to your guy friend, hey, I actually like you, they're going to be all about it.
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10, they are into you. And that's something that I'm learning still. It's like, you know, I like to see the good in people. And again, I think friendship is a beautiful thing. And is friendship with the opposite sex possible? I think so. But those boundaries need to be put in place.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay, a spin off on this.
Yes.
So Brandon and I just had this conversation, and it got like
heated.
A little bit.
Caliente?
Not to expose our relationship, but like it's fine. But
and we can cut it out.
I don't think it is. Okay. I shouldn't have prefaced it like that. But okay, so Kaylin, can you envision yourself holding hands or kissing a guy that you truly, truly are not attracted to? And I'm not just talking about like, I'm not attracted to his personality, I don't like his character, but he has a good face. Like, I'm saying, like, if you're like, I'm not attracted to his face, I'm not attracted to his body, I'm not attracted to his talent, his charisma, like, he is just a friend. Truly, truly, through and through, he is just a friend. Nothing would ever happen with him. I would never even think and consider about dating him. Could you ever be physical with him.
No.
Right? 100% no? Or like, no.
No, I only...
And I'm not talking about your character.
Yeah,
like,
when I was dating, I only kiss guys I like.
that is the difference between guys and girls.
Are you saying guys kiss girls that they don't like?
Okay. This is a new realization for me because of a conversation, a candid, early hours conversation with Brandon, pillow talk. And this is a realization for me literally last week and Brandon's like, no, that's just the difference between guys and girls, because he was telling me a story, like a date story. And I was like, you weren't attracted to this girl, but you kissed her? And then like the dots started connecting in my head. I'm like, well, that's not the only story like that I've heard. Like, I remember this story too, and this story too. And I'm like, okay, so it's a pattern. So I was like, so we got in this conversation, and I was like, were you just like thirsty? Were you just horny? Or like, what is it? And he's like, no, he's like, Lori, that's just the difference between guys and girls. You honestly are telling me that you've never kissed someone that you weren't attracted to.
No.
And I was like, no, Brandon, I can tell you with 100% definitiveness, I have never, ever I've never even touched a guy that I was not attracted to. You know what I mean? Like, there has to be like some kind of like attraction to like even touch them.
I agree.
And Brandon's like, no, like, that's not, he didn't believe me for a bit, but we concluded that
that's just the difference.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I think honestly, in order to be friends with a guy, there needs to be no attraction on either end.
Yeah.
I think it boils down to attraction.
I agree. And then also, like, what he was saying is, like, I'm not talking about like dating. He's not talking about like, oh, I can date someone I'm not attracted to. He was just saying like, no, I can kiss someone I'm not attracted to. I can like kind of get essentially gratification from somebody that physically. And like, Brandon's just, he's always been a very good guy, so he's never like taken it far. Yeah. So I'm just talking to the extent of like holding their hand and like kissing them, or like maybe even making out, but like he's able.
No, I'm not saying for Brandon. I'm saying in general, like, there's guys out here literally, doing intimate things with us girls. Yeah. And we think like
that they're into you, but they're not.
Us, but they're not. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's something I never realized or thought of. That's,
No, me neither.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
Man.
So anyway, the advice there is that girls, just because he's kissing you, cuddling you, whatever,
doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't.
Yeah, that's true. The last one.
I'm trying to figure out how to make this like an advice. Don't date bad boys. Okay. Don't date F boys. You're not going to change them, and they're not attractive. So yeah, like I have never understood why girls were attracted to bad boys. So did you watch Vampire Diaries?
Yeah.
Damon and Stefan?
Yeah.
So even as a teenager, all my friends, my sisters, everyone was into Damon, and they were like, "Oh, Damon. Are you into Damon?"
I'm not really into that show. Yeah. I mean, I've watched it.
That was more of like my teenage, like early 20s.
I definitely liked that show for a minute, but I have not finished it. That show was so long. But yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, what is it about men that are emotionally unavailable? Is that what it is?
Yeah. And this is me like being very disconnected from the girls that do relate to this, because I can honestly say I've never been a girl that was attracted or like aroused, turned on by guys that were bad boys. So I just can't relate. But like, I don't know, like every time, I'm just using the Vampire Diaries as an example, because I was even talking about this with our summer intern, and she was like, "Oh, Damon," and I was like, no, that's like funny. I don't understand. But they're the reasons that they give, because I'm like trying to understand what the psychology is, that why are they attracted to them, and it's always because they're more like boisterous and dynamic and like, big emotions, whereas the good guy, he's just, I can't remember the term, but like he's just like stagnant, he's just like
steady,
boring, essentially. Yeah, steady.
I think it all relates to attachment, which we cannot get into that.
No, we can't. We cannot get into attachment. I think it's like the high highs and the low lows. Like if he makes you feel like crap and like you're down here, and then the next moment he's like, you are so wonderful, you're incredible.
Yeah, he gives just enough to keep the relationship going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you've ever been on like on a sugar fast or like a carb fast or something, and you're starving for it, and then like after a few weeks you again eat sugar or carbs or something, you're like, you can eat like boiled rice and you'd be like, this is so good. Or you could drink milk, you'd be like, this is like ice cream, it's so amazing.
That's so funny. Yeah, I think that's why.
Yeah, so the advice, don't date bad boys because they're never going to give you what you need.
Yeah, and they're not consistent. Anything that feels like this emotionally,
no,
basura.
not for you.
Yeah, no.
You deserve consistency.
Yes, we love a consistent king.
Yeah. So be with someone that's good for your nervous system, because
that's
again,
huge
the
too.
bad boy, like it's just the thing is that your nervous system is always spiked.
Yeah.
And long term, that's just so bad for your health.
Yeah. There was another, speaking of nervous system, I have a friend in Texas that brought this up to me. And at the time I was like, wait, what? I've never heard of that. She was saying like how she heard someone say like the feeling of butterflies is actually not a good thing. And you hear all the time like, oh, he gives me butterflies. But if that person does that to your nervous system, that's actually not a good thing.
Wow.
But I don't have an opinion on that. I have no idea.
That is so interesting.
But
that is a good thought to chew on.
It's like, oh, wow. Is that a good thing?
Because like how you boil it down, like what is the butterflies? It's like a feeling of fear. Yeah, ultimately.
You're nervous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of weird to think about?
That is so interesting.
Yeah. And I kind of thought about, I feel like the men that gave me the most butterflies ended up being relationships like this.
Yeah. And I think it's on a spectrum too.
That's true. Am I saying like, you know, I mean, Kai definitely gave me butterflies, like the first time he kissed me, or, you know, those special moments. I think that's very natural. But if it's like all the time, like, you know, I don't know what he's going to do next, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure.
I feel like that's not good. But I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud.
Yeah.
But yeah, isn't that kind of crazy?
That is crazy. I want to know more about people's opinions and
No, for real.
Well, that was my last one.
We love it. All right, girlies. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.